Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is Spider, and I am currently getting over a cold. But it's been a while since I put up a video, so I'm gonna do the review anyways, and hopefully it goes alright. Anywho, today we're taking a look at the Star Wars The Black Series Maz Kanata, which released back in 2017, and she's based on her appearance from the Star Wars sequel trilogy. So, to get things started, we'll take a look at the packaging. Alrighty, here we have the box. At the top here, you got the Star Wars Black Series logo. You got window where the figure would be. You got image of the character in black and white. You got the name of the character. On the back, you got another black and white image of the character. You got a little bio there. You want to pause and read it. And it's actually a pretty decent bio there. It actually kind of fills the gaps of like what Maz has been up to in between the films. So, it's kind of neat. I like the bio on this. Got a bunch of other words on the side. You got her name again on the other side. You got the number of the figure. At the top, you got black. On the bottom, you got a bunch of words. You got a sticker of the place where I bought it from. Pointless fun fact, I got this figure in New York. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. Onto the figure. And here we have Maz. And first things first, we'll take a look at her articulation. So the head is on a ball joint, and fortunately it can't really look up all that much, but it can look a pretty good amount down. It can look side to side, and fortunately it can't really tilt side to side while looking forward, but if you turn it, then the head can tilt. So that's interesting. Shoulder can go pretty dang good amount up. Can go all the way around. Fortunately, there's no bicep swivel, which is an odd choice. You get a decent bend at the elbow, rotation at the elbow. You get the wrist, can rotate, and it is on a hinge, but do be careful with the wrists because of the way the bracelet kind of gets in the way. You can't move it too much, and if you force the hand to bend too much, it can break. Actually broke the other hand over there. But thankfully, because it's on a hinge, you can kind of just clip it back in place even when it's broken, but it's still just be careful with the wrists. Anyways, onto the waist. It's actually on a ball joint, so it can rotate, and you can get a little bit of side to sides, a little tight in that regard, but you can get a bit of a crunch, and a little bit of an arch. So that's pretty cool. That's a cool idea, making a ball joint for the waist. They should do that more often. Anyways, onto the legs. Thankfully, unlike the last couple of Star Wars figures I reviewed, the legs are designed normally, just ball jointed hips. Yay, so you get some pretty good motion. Can't actually go far much at all because of the butt sculpt, but can spread out pretty good. You get a thigh rotation, and also me bumping the camera, apologies. You get a decent bend at the knee. Foot can go up and down. I said that backwards. And you get a very good tilt. So, overall articulation is actually pretty good for this figure. Maybe could have done more for the elbows and knees, but for what you get, you can pull off some pretty good poses. So yeah, I like the articulation on this. Just the wrists, you just gotta be careful of those, because, yeah. Be careful of that. So, now that we're done with that, we can move on to the details. So, focus up on in here. I was zooming, not focusing, but whatever. Whoa, it's too bright. Let's calm that down. There we go. That's a bit better. And so we can see that nice Maz face. Did a pretty good job with that. You do get the goggles, just like in the movie, and they can actually move down onto her eyes. which is very nice. I do like that. And just like in the movie, the goggles do kind of magnify her eyes a little bit. You can see like a regular eye versus magnified one. Obviously, it's not as drastic as in the film, but it's cool that they were able to simulate it even to this lesser extent. That's really cool that they were able to do that. I really like that, so very nice job on the goggles. Although, for some reason, they got her skin tone kind of wrong. Because in the movie, she was pretty clearly orange, but here, she's got more of a metallic skin tone. It's almost like golden. In fact, there's just kind of a splash of golden right on her neck for some reason. So that's kind of weird. I don't know why they went with that direction. Because this figure released in 2017, which was a couple years after Force Awakens release, so you can't say like, oh, maybe it's based on concept art. No, they had plenty of time to see the final design and base it off of that, and they still didn't get it quite right. So that is quite strange. I don't know why they went with that color. Yeah, some people pointed out that it almost makes it look like yogurt from Spaceballs, so that's kind of funny. Anyways, move on down here to her old grandma sweater. This vest with a little button on it. And apparently this vest is fully removable. I don't feel like removing it. But just know it can be taken off. You got some beads and stuff. You got some very nice designs. Or some nice detailing and sculpt work on there. It's nice. And you got your bracelets. All the bracelets and all the rings. All sculpted on in there. And it is different on the other that is very nice. Well, of course, her beanie. Kind of forgot to talk about that. You got a little metal bit on top of the beanie. Don't know what that's there, but it is. You got her belt with all kinds of doodads and gadgets and pouches and stuff. You got her pants, which are nice and burgundy. Then you got her very odd colored shoes. At the bottom, you got some peg holes so you can plug into her stand if you so wish. You get the back of the figure. So, yeah, outside of the strange choice for the skin color, they did a fairly good job with the details of this figure. I do like it. I think they did a pretty dang good job. I have no complaints. Well, of course, except for the skin tone choice. But other than that, very good job. I do quite dig what they were doing here. Now that we're done with that, we can move on to the figure's accessories. And she does have a few of those. For starters, she has this blaster, which looks very similar to the ones that the Rebels used, which I suppose does make sense. It's very nice, casted mostly in black and then painted silver on the front there. You got some pretty good details on there. Although for some reason the ammo is missing. The little ammo clip or magazine or whatever it would be called in Star Wars is not there. So that's odd. Don't know why they left that bit out, but the figure can hold it in her right hand, and only the right one. She can't hold it in the other hand because it's just too relaxed posed, and yeah, just can't hold it. But she can hold it the other way, like that, so she can hold it that way. So that's pretty cool. Another accessory is this thing right here, the infamous chest, which has got some pretty good detailing going on here. You know, does some pretty good with make sure the wood looks all weathered and the metal is also weathered. They did a pretty good job molding this, considering it's just, you know, soft plastic. And you can unhitch and open it up to reveal a bunch of miscellaneous objects. Looks like she got a couple thermoses in there or something. And I do really like that there are actually rivets on the underside of the top where they would be on there. That's a really nice detail. I like that they put that there, because they could have just left it bare wood, but no, they put those there. I like that. That's a very nice attention to detail. What I don't like about the chest is that the two hinges aren't actually hinges, they're just plastic. So yeah, if you open it too many times, eventually they can wear out and possibly break. So not a big fan of that. Wish they actually were hinges, kind of like a Lego chest or something. They're able to put hinges on those, so you could have put some hinges on this, but they didn't, and that's kind of unfortunate, but whatever. Close it back up. And finally comes with lightsaber. Luke's lightsaber, Anakin's, or Rey's for a little bit, I guess, I don't know. Whoever's lightsaber you want to call it, it's here. And it is fairly nicely detailed. Silver, got the blacks, and it is fully functional, I believe, so if you do have a spare lightsaber blade lying around, you can plug it in there and use it. That is quite nice. Although in this set, you're probably just going to be opening it up and throwing it in there and closing it up. And there is plenty enough space for the lightsaber to fit in there, so it doesn't get in the way of closing it at all. So that's nice. I do quite like the accessories that come with this. I think they are pretty fitting for what you would expect to come with this character. So, yeah, good job with that. Now, on to the size comparisons. So, to start things off, as always, here it is with a LEGO minifigure, the Pack of Destruction minifigure Mothra, the Pack of Destruction minifigure Godzilla. On to some more relevant size comparisons. Here it is with the Star Wars Black Series 3.75-inch Stormtrooper from 2014. With the Vintage Collection 118 First Order Stormtrooper. With the Force Link General Leia. With the Force Link Kylo Ren. If I can get him to stand up. There we go. And finally, here she is with the previous review, the Marvel Legends Walgreens exclusive Mystique. Now that we're done with all that, it's measuring time. So get this measuring tape all extended and then put it next to the figure, and we'll see that she is basically 4 inches tall. Which, while is kind of small for Black Series, it does make sense because this character was pretty small in the movie. So, yeah, good size. So, that is pretty much it for the Star Wars The Black Series Maz Kanata. And overall, she's pretty good. I do quite like it. It's got a good amount of details, good amount of articulation. And like I said earlier, it's got all the accessories you would expect to come with the figure. The only thing I could see is maybe kind of missing is the jetpack that she had briefly in episode 8, but that's kind of it. Because she's got the blaster that she had in that scene, but she ain't got the little jetpack thing. But other than that, I like the accessories. They are quite nice. Really, the only issues I have with the figure is that the wrists, maybe could have made those a bit sturdy. And the skin tone being a little off. Other than that, pretty good. I like it. I do recommend it if you were fond of this character from the movie. And if you did want this figure for yourself, on the aftermarket, she has really not gone up in price all that much. So yeah, you'll easily find this figure for like $17 to $20, brand new in the box even, so yeah, it's a pretty good price. So if you were a fan of this character, yeah, I'd definitely recommend picking this up. It's pretty cool. But anyways, that's all I've got to say. Hope you all enjoyed. See you later. Sayonara. Bye.